So, physio ball release to release your shoulders. You can do this against the wall, which will take some of the pressure out. You can use it with a physio ball or a tennis ball. However, I find a baseball more effective. A, there's more grip, so it slides less when you lay on it, but also it's firmer. You're getting that trigger point release. If it's too intense, make it a softer ball or just don't put as much weight through it. So, to start with, the primary areas you want to hit are the back of the shoulder around the rear deltoid, the front of the shoulder around rear deltoid and into the tendons of the pecs, and then right in between your shoulder blades over your rib heads. So you want to get the ball in those areas and then activate those muscles. So what I'm going to show you is a guideline, but it doesn't have to be exactly in that place and it doesn't have to be that exact movement. Start with my movement and then adjust it to make it your own, because your body's different to mine, and depending on what area you have aggravated, depending on which muscles are particularly inflamed and sore, will depend on where you need to move. Please remember, trigger point release can be inflammatory. It can aggravate an area because it is a lot of deep pressure. So while it will give you temporary release and temporarily reduce your pain in principle, it's not a solution or an alternative to stretching. You do still need to stretch to get long-term lengthening of the muscles, and you can potentially irritate the area. So if your pain isn't being relieved by this for any lasting period of time, or the area is getting more sore, please stop and come and see me in the clinic and I'll look after you. So we're going to start right on the inside of the spine. I'm going to get the ball right into my rib heads. So I find a really, really nasty bit that's just on the inside of my shoulder blade that feels like when I put the ball and my weight through the ball, it sends the pain gently traveling up into the back of my neck and down into my shoulder. If you need to, brace the head with the other hand, or you can always have a pillow here. It doesn't make life easy, but because we're not moving up and down, you could have your head rested against the pillow. Okay? Start with the arm flat by your side. Relax the shoulder, allow your weight to drop into the ball, and then you're gonna inhale the arm overhead, out, as far as you can. I can go further, but don't force it. Relax it back down, and soften like you're trying to sink into the ball. If you wanna make it a slightly deeper stretch or to activate the ribs more, you can use the breath with it. So you can inhale the arm overhead, come to full inhale, and then as you exhale, focus on releasing and softening into the ball. You can obviously work your way up or down the ball onto different rib heads, slightly wider, slightly narrower, or come further out into the actual shoulder blade, so into the subscapular area, into the rhomboids. If you don't know where these are, they're the meaty bit on the inside of your shoulder. Straight up, that's a little bit sore, but this bit is a really good pain. And I'm trying to melt into the ball. If that's not quite getting the targeted effect, try coming out to the side. And then back in and relax. Same principle, inhale up, exhale, relax. If you're struggling to keep yourself up on the ball, put a pillow under the other shoulder or your foam roller just for some support. Okay? For the back of the shoulder, we're slightly easier. Place the ball around the rear delt. It can go as far back as you need it to, depending on whether it's muscle, belly, or tendon. Rest into the ball. And you're going to move around the ball. You can either use it similar to a foam roller, rolling circles into the tight area, or curving an arc, there, or have the arm down, take the arm all the way up, and all the way in. And it's really not very nice, but it will give me some temporary relief with my shoulder because of the chronic tension I have in my shoulder from too much weight training and old injuries. which will allow me to train to a full range, reducing my risk of injury during a weight session because the muscle is longer and freer. For the front of the shoulder and the pec, again, it's easier to do this, probably against the wall in a corner, which I'll show you on a video later. But if you're on the floor, press the ball into the area you're working. I'll turn so you can see what I'm doing. Find the pressure on the ball, which for me is right there. And you can just lift up and relax down. Obviously you can rest onto a pillow or try lifting up just the hand, pressing, and then lift the elbow and press. If that's not quite enough for you, take the arm out to the side, roll and release. Roll, roll in, release out, and find the right area. So for me, that's there. And you can have your weight off or press your weight into the ball to get that activation. So currently I've got that good pain shooting straight down the front of my arm into my thumb. To intensify it, I roll my hand up, I breathe in, I breathe out, roll my hand down, and soften my weight into the ball. If you want to make it a little more, you can wrap the arm behind the back, which will tighten the front of the shoulder. Obviously it takes the ability to use the arm as a lever out, but you can still inhale and then soften into the ball or roll in and out across the top of the tendon and the bicep head to get some deep release. Exactly the same, coming to the top of the pec, just underneath your collarbone. Press through the ball. Arm can come up and press. Arm can turn over and lift. If you want to, you can bring your weight forward into the ball and then just ease out as you come out. But I personally find arm behind, using my weight and then just turning my hand to take it off, far more effective for me. If you need to, arm out, gently lift, relax, and soften. Have a go at that, give it a try, and let me know how you get on. Just in addition to the trigger point release video. So there's lots of argument at the moment over the effectiveness of foam rolling and trigger point release. From an osteopathic point of view, I feel that using trigger point and foam rolling as a trigger point release to temporarily relieve muscle tension, to reduce pain, or to lengthen a muscle before you train is very effective. Trying to do it to improve your flexibility, I don't feel is very effective because it's not the right type of stretching. You need to do progressive overload stretching. So things like yoga, where you gradually ease yourself into the stretch. You take your time to allow your body to adapt, and then you slowly lengthen the muscle and the muscle tendon over time to allow your body to accommodate that length. Basically, you're saying to your body, I need more flexibility. You lean into it, you put the challenge on, it goes, all right, I'll take my time. The same principle behind weight training, where you shorten, contract your muscles by lifting heavier and heavier or more and more reps. So my suggestion would be warming up with some yoga, like something dynamic and flowing, like a sun salutation or something like that. Using some trigger point release for specific tight areas or areas you know you struggle with restriction, either in range or pain. Do your workout and then finish with some yoga, but a more static practice. So kind of holding poses for a lot longer, sinking into the stretch, utilizing the breath, get the depth into it. Stretch is done at home. You don't need to be warm if you're doing some of the basic yoga stuff. Obviously advanced, yes, I would suggest you warm up. But basic yoga, stuff like simple static holds, you're easing into the stretch, you're gently encouraging, so you're warming as you do it. So you can do that at home, but obviously please do this under the advisement of your coach or your clinician. Have fun.